Hi, you've selected option 7, the Kiva option. This is a really cool option because it's a little different from the others. The others, you're starting with a big problem, global health or gender inequality or hunger, and you're trying to figure out one or two possible solutions. In this case with Kiva, which is a real nonprofit organization, their goal is to connect people with people who need a little bit of help to help them get going and make their lives a little bit better. And so this is starting off with a solution and then figuring out and you sort of articulating why this will help address poverty over the long run and why certain loans make more sense than others. So Kiva, if you go to the site itself, um, is this I just pulled up different loans around sustainable development. And so when you go on the site, there's likely going to be different loans, but you could see here this group in Kenya wants to purchase a solar light for growing. This person also wants to buy different kinds of materials, wood, protective blankets for his plants and coconut fiber. But you could search all by different types of categories. You'll see down here, if you click on this, by women, agriculture, shelter, conflict zones, education, food, etc. So what you're going to do is when you click on the Kiva option, it will take you to this page and you'll see the task sheet specifically. If you go to the Kiva task sheet, it tells you with some links about what you're charged with doing. But basically, you're going to have to figure out which borrower you want to fund and why. And in order to do this, you have to analyze your borrower's plan. What makes this particular borrower or individual or group the most attractive to fund out of the potential thousands of borrowers? Will this loan begin to address the targeted problem of poverty that you've identified? Is it aligned and sustainable? Why is this loan to this borrower a better use of money than funding other borrowers that are similarly situated? So why fund this group when you could be funding other groups in the same region or who are asking for a similar something else? Like we saw before with the solar. Why are you funding this one solar farm versus another solar farm? Has this kind of project enjoyed success within the country or the region or the world? So you'll do a little research with these best practices to see what else has been done and has it been successful. Is this loan safe? What's the repayment risk? You'll see on Kiva there are microfinance organizations that give to these organizations, that gives to these people. So you want to research them a little bit to see if they're worth the risk and do they charge a fair interest. What you're then going to do in order to make it broader is to identify and define the poverty issue that in helping this individual, you're really addressing on a larger basis. So by doing this, how are you solving the issue of poverty? Or how are you solving the issue of a clean environment, etc. You'll conduct research to explain the root causes of this problem, from where the borrower is from, how this aspect of poverty is hurting the country's ability to develop and meet the needs of its people, and in this country, how are different forms of poverty connected to one another. You'll create a project brief that will explain to the judges your ideas with your presentation so they can follow along and come up with a 10-minute presentation that will convince the judge to fund your particular borrower. Also on here are rubrics. And the rubrics will talk about practical problem solver. Do you define the problem? Do you have a logical and practical plan? And do you develop conclusions and related outcomes that are logical, thorough, and well-informed? You'll also be scored on your ability to communicate, your ability to impact the judges, and your ability to collaborate. Also, our websites. Now these websites have been vetted for you. They have a lot of Kiva specific websites located on them, as well as other types of websites that will help you, including these down here that will help you better visually display your data. So that's a great place to start before you go on your own and do your own specific individual research. And that's it. Once you decide on option 7, if you're a community school member, you'll click here. If you're a Grover school member, you'll click here. and fill in the form, your name, and your selection, and a group will be chosen based on that. So I hope you have fun with it, and we really hope that we're going to be able to, the winning teams will actually get their borrower partially funded so we could help these folks out around the world. Thanks and have a good time with this.